1. The endless scroll. Amazon is literally a slot machine dressed up as an online retail store. The endless scroll and the unpredictable timing of when a perfect product result pops up leverage the psychology of intermittent variable rewards, a fancy name for the slot machine effect. Just like pulling the lever at a casino, you keep scrolling because you might find that one perfect surprise jackpot item. That unpredictable win taps directly into your brain's reward system, turning casual browsing into an addictive hours-long session of window shopping that inevitably ends with a new charging cable in your cart. In summary, your shopping addiction is literally built into their business model. 2. The review system. You trust 5,000 strangers more than you trust your own judgment. The review system leverages social proof and acts as a massive trust signal, provided the reviewer actually bought the item. When you see hundreds of people endorsing a product, your brain concludes that it must be a safe, high-quality purchase. It completely reduces the perceived risk. Amazon puts the review count and star rating front and center, right after the price, like a digital choir singing its praises. In summary, the high rating tells you what people liked, the one-star reviews tell you what's actually wrong. 3. Frequently bought together. This tiny line is a silent command to increase your spending by 30%. It's the digital equivalent of "you need fries with that." Frequently bought together is a bundling tactic that uses consumption norms to suggest complementary products. This works through social proof and priming. By showing what others commonly buy, Amazon normalizes the multi-purchase. It makes the add-on feel like a standard requirement rather than an optional choice. If you bought a camera, you need the memory card, right? Everyone else did. In summary, norms influence behavior, but never replace necessity. Don't fall for the combo meal. 4. Amazon's choice. You are giving a multinational corporation permission to think for you. Amazon's choice, or bestseller badges, leverage the authority bias. This badge signals Amazon's endorsement, often for products with high ratings and low return rates. This works because a simple Amazon's choice banner instantly bypasses our critical assessment of quality, giving the product an implied stamp of approval. You trust the banner. End of analysis. In summary, the badge is a fast pass to purchase, not a quality guarantee. 5. Save for later. Amazon knows you put something in your cart and walked away. Now they're going to bribe you to come back and finish the job. By putting an item on the wish list and save for later, you've made a small public commitment to the idea of owning it. You told Amazon, "I want this, but not today." Amazon's genius is turning that passive thought into a future sale. They wait, then they email you. "Good news, the thing you wanted is now $5 off." The inconsistency of not buying it now becomes a psychological irritant. It turns browsing into a structured sales pipeline, and it's a wildly effective tool for clearing old inventory. In summary, your wish list is essentially Amazon's next quarter forecast. 6. Strike-through pricing. The large, crossed-out number is the most important number on the screen. Strike-through pricing, or reference pricing, is when Amazon displays the high MSRP next to the much lower Amazon price. Your mind immediately latches on to the higher crossed-out number as the product's true value, making the lower actual price seem like an incredible deal you'd be stupid to miss. The savings are often anchored to a price that never actually existed. In summary, savings are often anchored to a price that never actually existed. 7. Partitioned pricing. You are willing to spend more money just to feel like you didn't pay for shipping. It makes no sense, yet we all do it. Partition pricing is that sneaky tactic where the low price is separated from the rest of the cost. Amazon knows we hate paying for shipping. It feels like throwing money into a black hole. So they offer free shipping only if your cart hits a certain threshold, say $35. But what happens is you only need $33 worth of stuff, but you buy an unnecessary $5 spatula just to cross the line. You rationalize that the spatula is a better value for the shipping fee. Spoiler alert, you still spent $38 and now own a spatula you didn't need. In summary, you avoided the cost of shipping, but you still spent the money. Congrats on your new spatula. 8. Limited stock. This is the oldest psychological trick in retail, and it still works flawlessly online. We are so predictable. Limited stock messaging is the text that shows you a terrifyingly low number, like only 3 left in stock, leverages the scarcity principle. It makes the product seem rare and in demand. If it's rare, it must be valuable. And if you hesitate, some digital stranger will steal your prize. Amazon uses this on frequently purchased items to induce immediate cold sweat panic buying. In summary, rarity is often manufactured, but the fear of missing out on a deal is 100% real. 9. Time pressure. The flashing clock is almost never real, but it still makes you spend faster. Admit it. Time pressure, usually labeled as a limited time offer, is a visual smoke machine showing a deal is about to expire. Why it works is simple, yet devastating. It triggers loss aversion. The fear of losing a good deal is a much stronger motivator than the actual gain from the product. Amazon uses this relentlessly during Prime Day or lightning deals, making that time constraint feel like a countdown to financial disaster. In summary, urgency is the enemy of a smart decision. 10. Dynamic pricing. The price you see might not be the same price your neighbor sees because the algorithm knows you're obsessed with that air fryer. Dynamic pricing, or personalized pricing, is Amazon's algorithm constantly changing the price based on real-time factors like your location, but most importantly, your search history. This exploits your unique price sensitivity profile. If you keep checking the price of a specific air fryer every day, the algorithm whispers, "They want it," nudge the price up 2%. The core function is optimization, but the result is discriminatory pricing. In summary, the price is a suggestion, not a fixed truth. 11. One-click ordering. The easier it is to buy, the harder it is to stop. This is where Amazon truly shines in its dark genius. One-click ordering is Amazon's master strategy in friction reduction. This frictionless checkout removes every unnecessary step between "I want it" and "it's shipped." The classic purchase path lets you cool down. The one-click system eliminates that cooling-off period our brain needs to process the pain of paying. It bypasses the rational brain entirely, making the decision to buy as easy as scrolling past this sentence. It's the perfect trap for high-impulse purchases. In summary, in the digital world, friction is the guardian of your wallet. Amazon removed the bodyguard. 12. Easy returns. That simple return policy is a magic spell designed to completely remove your fear of buying. It's brilliant. The promise of easy returns removes the only thing stopping you from clicking buy, the risk of regret. Since the main barrier is psychological, Amazon eliminates the fear. They want the product in your hands because that's when the endorsement effect kicks in. Once that shirt is draped over your chair, you already feel like you own it. You value it more highly, and the energy required to fold it, package it, print the label, and drive to the UPS store suddenly feels like an Olympic event. Most people just keep the damn shirt. In summary, the hardest part of a return isn't the logistics, it's the emotional cost of letting go. 13. Gift cards. Once money is put into a store system, it's psychologically changed. The gift card, or the e-wallet effect, works by creating a distinct form of money separate from your cold, hard cash, relying on the principle of mental accounting. Money sitting in your Amazon balance is viewed as fun money or already spent, making you way less conscientious about spending it than the money in your bank account. It's a subtle nudge to always use Amazon first because, hey, it's just house money now. In summary, money only counts if you treat it as if it actually hurts to spend. 14. Subscription default. They call it subscribe and save, but the real saving is for Amazon's long-term recurring revenue. The default effect is simple. People are lazy and stick with the pre-selected option. Amazon uses this when they automatically enroll you in a Prime trial or set a recurring purchase option for consumables like vitamins. This works because the mental energy required to log in, find the right settings, and cancel is often greater than the cost of the subscription itself. They're banking on your inertia. In summary, default settings are designed for profit, not for your preference. Wake up! 15. The Prime deadline. Telling you a product will arrive tomorrow makes you more likely to buy it today. The Prime deadline is that subtle, stress-inducing message in your checkout that says, order in the next 2 hours and 58 minutes to get it by tomorrow. This works because it plays on loss aversion and the present bias. Waiting feels like a personal failure, and the immediate, near-term arrival of the product is highly motivating. You're not just buying a product, you are buying time. This is most effective for small, high-impulse purchases that you need right now. In summary, the perceived cost of waiting often outweighs the actual financial cost of buying. We are impatient babies. 16. Prime membership. Once you pay the fee, you will start justifying every purchase you make. We've all been there. Amazon Prime is the ultimate sunk cost commitment and loyalty program. You pay the annual fee, right? So now you feel psychologically compelled to use the service as much as possible to get your money's worth. Every purchase, even the one you could have gotten cheaper locally, feels free because you already paid the shipping fee up front. You've essentially bought a year-round persuasion engine.
In summary, the biggest benefit of Prime is psychological, not logistical. It's a mental trap. So there it is, every single psychological trap Amazon uses to dominate e-commerce. The good news is that they're not evil, they're just hyper-optimized masters of human psychology. But now you know the rules of the game. Which of these 16 traps do you fall for the most? Let me know in the comments below.